Hey, KK back again. Today we're going to discuss a new PS5, basically. So we have some news for it currently on PlayStation website themselves. So we have a PlayStation that's slimmed down with a smaller design, and it comes with a terabyte of storage instead of the 825 gigabytes. And out of those 825 you have the access of 667, so you get a bit of an extra storage space for the new PS5. And now let's read into it a bit on this article about it. So the new PS5 has been reduced in volume by more than 30% and weight by 18% and 24% compared to the previous models. There are 4 separate cover panels, with the top portion in a glossy look while the bottom remains in matte. If you purchase the PS5 Digital Edition, you can add the Ultra HD Blu-ray disc drive for PS5 later, as it will also be sold separately for $80. Or for me, that would be 110 euros, 20 euros. The new PS5 will be available starting this November in the US, at least. And in upcoming months it will roll out globally. So the retail prices for the US version will be 500 USD for the Blu-ray disc drive one, and for the digital it's going to be 450. Whereas for me it's going to be 450 for the digital in euros, or it's going to be 550 for the disc drive one. But here's the thing, the horizontal stand is going to be sold separate for 30 USD or 30 euros for me. So in order to have your PS5 stand vertically, as some would prefer, you will need to buy a separate piece of equipment, shall we call it, in order to do so, which is extra money, which by all means you shouldn't need to buy it separate just to make it stand vertically. But lately PS, or shall I say Sony, has not made so great decisions lately. I'm not sure where they're gonna go with this all, because in all honesty it seems like they plan on making as much cash for as little work as possible, so to speak. So basically you've got the PS5 before, which was cheaper before. You could put it in any way you wanted, no extra cost. I have the digital version, so I just don't have the disc drive, which for me it is what it is. And now you have to buy that separate, which is great. On a PS5 that already fundamentally costs more. But the thing is, they save on materials and everything else with this newer module, but it is more expensive than the previous one. And it seems like at this point Sony isn't about providing customers with the best product they can, but about more shifted to the focus of let's get as much money as we can possibly get out of people. So at this rate it's kind of fearful for having a PS, in all honesty, because if Sony does continue in this way and they don't respect their consumers and they only try to get as much money as possible, which evidently was with what the PlayStation Portal also it's like, for me it's a completely useless device. It's like, it shouldn't be a thing. They should have just made another PSP instead of that. But it didn't happen. PS Portal is what PS Portal is. I'm kinda surprised that it has sold so well. But then again, I'm way different than most people in the way I think. So it's worrisome for me with this thing, because there's only so much you can push until people will stop giving a damn. And it seems like they're so greedy for money at this point that they're making stupid decisions. Like I said, they raise prices, and they have lesser costs, bigger prices, yet they still sell accessories separate that should just be with the console. And it's like, why? Here's a perfect comment that says, the new Slim all digital PS5 is saving Sony on material, shipping and manufacturing footprint, plus the bigger margin it gets on digital game sales. So why increase the price? Because the digital price is increased by $50 for US. So why the increase in price? Lately they haven't done anything really great for the consumers. Is the fact that the PS Plus increase in service, but nothing extra provided or even anything good. 2 months straight after the PS Plus price increase, we got shit games for the month. That might differ on personal taste, but then it didn't justify the large sum of increase in price for the service, and they provide nothing. Well, I guess they did provide the Sony movie stuff, but it's a console for gaming, and I'm not gonna be watching movies on a console I got for gaming. I mean, it's a gaming platform. Why would I expect the PS Plus service to provide, instead of something to game related, to movies? I don't give a damn about movies. Okay? So it's kinda stupid for me. So, to put it in perspective, the new PS price for the slim version of with the disk drive will be a total with the vertical stand of $530 US dollars, and for $480 for the slim version. It's like, who makes these decisions to sell these vertical stands separately? It's like they don't even get their consumer base no more. But like I said, it's probably related to greed. As long as they can get as much money out of you as possible, they'll be satisfied. But it's completely ridiculous to me, in a sense that at this rate Sony will not really have any future, because they keep removing, I would say, features, but they're not really features, it's accessories to PS, so basically let's call them accessories. They keep removing more and more accessories out of a PS in order to sell them separately, which usually would be already included within the purchase of a PS, but they keep removing them and keep adding them later as a separate purchase, which is not consumer friendly, but they probably gauged that people would buy it and that's why they did it, but it shouldn't be a thing. I truly hope they will switch how they operate back to more like the usual way, because at this rate it's not gonna matter how far the PS can go if at this rate you're gonna be buying everything separate. Maybe by the time the PS6 releases you're gonna buy PS6 by goddamn parts and you have to assemble it yourself. At this rate, if it continues like this. Sure, I like the fact that you can attach the disk drive and remove it. Sure, that's a nice thing. But now you have to get a stand separate in order for it to be vertical and shit. Which you didn't have to before. What's next? Also with like the cover company, like the covers for the PS5, I personally think custom covers was a real nice idea. And there was a company that released covers way before Sony did, so they sued those guys. Now with the new covers that Sony has for the Spider-Man game, yeah, they sold out way too quick, nobody has them. That company made them since they figured out a way to make them and Sony can do nothing about it. It looks cooler than the Sony one, and they put it exactly 1 cent for me. For some it's like a penny, whatever. I'll just say it in my currency. 1 cent lower than the cost price of the Spider-Man one from Sony itself, which I think is a nice move. It's kinda like, yeah, you fucked up. And they've been fucking up more recently, over and over again. But there ain't much to say no more about this. It's just, I hope they're gonna realize that if they continue this way there will be no business to run, because they will run PS in the ground. Should be sad. I enjoy PS a lot. I like the games on it. And if the company decides that they wanna run it in a way that destroys it, then it's completely stupid. I just don't get it. Why? And it's not just Sony recently, it's like everybody's going haywire with shit. But yeah, don't support this shit. You shouldn't have to buy a fucking stand separate. It should come with a console. It's not like the console itself costs little money to begin with. It's, some people might not find it that bad, but this is a start. You might not find it bad right now, but when they start removing more and more and you'll need to pay separate more and more, at some point it's gonna be too much, and at that point it's gonna be too late. So it's kind of a stupid thing, but I think that's all for me. I'll see you guys next time.